Okay, so we have LeetCode problem number 649, Dota2 Senate. In the world of Dota 2, there are two parties, the Radiant and the Dire. The Dota2 Senate consists of senators coming from two parties. Now the Senate wants to decide on a change in the Dota 2 game. The voting for this change is a round-based procedure. In each round, each senator can exercise one of the two rights. Ban one senator's right. A senator can make another senator lose all his rights in this and all the following rounds. Announce the victory. If the senator found the senators who still have rights to vote are all from the same party, he can announce the victory and decide on the change in the game. Given a string Senate representing each senator's party belonging, the character R and D represent the Radiant Party and Dire Party. Then if there are n senators, the size of the given string will be n. The round-based procedure starts from the first senator to the last senator in a given order. This procedure will last until end of voting. All the senators who have lost their rights will be skipped during the procedure. Suppose each senator is smart enough and will play the best strategy for his own party, predict which party will finally announce the victory, and change the Dota 2 game. The output should be Radiant or Dire. What a doozy. So we have a Senate, R, D, so that means like one Radiant, one Dire, I'm assuming. The first senator comes from Radiant, and he can just ban the next senator's right in round 1. And the second senator can't exercise any rights anymore since his rights have been banned. And in round 2, the first senator can just announce the victory since he's the only guy in the Senate who can win. Okay. So in the second one we have RDD. I'm assuming R is gonna ban D, and then the third D is gonna ban R, and then second round he's gonna announce the winner. This first senator comes from Radiant, and he can just ban the next senator's right in round 1, and then the second senator can't exercise any rights anymore since his right has been banned. And then the third senator comes from Dire, and he can ban the first senator's right in round 1. And then in round 2, the third senator just announced a victory since he's the only guy in the Senate who can vote. This seems like a fun little doozy. Alright, so we just need to loop through. If it's an R, so the first letter we get, we want to check when it's not it. So if the first letter is R, the next one is D, we just know we're gonna ban D. I'm assuming that's what. Since we're taking turns. So we're definitely gonna need a Radiant and a Dire. Then like 2 lists, and then we can check them against each other, I guess. Until one of the lists is empty. Okay, so we know we need 2 lists at least off the bat. Radiant. It's gonna be a list of ints, so we can make that more specific soon. So we can do this. And then we need to, so the Senate is R&D. So we need to keep track of this. Okay, we're probably gonna change this into characters as well, right? This isn't gonna change. Senate count. And then we can do, we need to change the Senate into some strings so that we can iterate over it, right? New Senate equal an array of Senate. Do we need any other variables? And we're gonna return we just need to check. We check. Return if radiant is empty, we return radiant. If return dire, if radiant is empty. Or so we just check. If it's empty, then it's dire, or else it's radiant. Okay. So now we need to find out, since we're using the string is just letters, we need to find out the indexes and then add them to our empty arrays. Okay. I'll probably initialize these. They're gonna be numbers. Then we want to get for our loop, and use we're looping through our new Senate since it's an array of characters. How do you spell it? Senate. Enumerated is what we want. And then we'll just be checking what the character is, since we know we're gonna be checking for this R and D. So if it's R, we append to radiant, and if it's D, well, if it's not R, it's D. So we can just do a simple if else. So if equals R, we can do this. Else, we can do this. So if it's R, then we can radiant append. And then this would be dire append. Okay. So our array, our queue, will have the indexes that we want for each senator and their party. Okay. And now we just need to do another loop. So this one is a for loop. We'll do a while. So we need to do a while and then check. We want to run this while only if the arrays are not empty. Because if they're empty, that means we're done. So if while gradient is empty and dire is empty, we will exclamation them points. So if they're not empty, so we do this, and then we'll do this. Okay, so if they are not empty, what we want to do is remove first until one is. So we want to compare if radiant is followed by a dire, we remove, right? Index. So how am I going to do this? We can have radiant, we can have 2 counters. Like this, okay. And then we just do a comparison. D, and then else. So we want to ban, and then we want to move it. So if the R remove is less than or greater than D remove, we want to move the R remove so the smaller index is the one that will ban the next. Okay. So we'll go through it. We need to find a way to simulate our next round. So we probably have to increase this somehow. So if R is bigger, less than or greater than, then we can do radiant up and this is where the magic will be. So we need to find a way to simulate the next round. So I know it's gonna be the remove, right? It's gonna be something like R remove +1. Let's do D remove +1. Let's see. or we need to, the count never really changes, I guess. So we can't use that. Does my logic make sense? Alright, so we have our two queues, our radiant and the dire. So we want to track the indexes of our Senate. We need our Senate to be an array of characters so we can get the indexes. And then we have our counts of senators. So that will let us know how many are in both parties. Alright, so now we are filling up our arrays. So if the character in new Senate is an R, we know it's a radiant. And if it's not an R, it can only be dire. So then we're checking if they're both not empty. If they're not, we're checking our if. And then no, we can use our new count here for the next round. So let's do this instead. This should work. When the queue is empty, the non-empty one wins. We have done it. Alright, so we have two queues to track. We have our Senate count, and then we have our Senate, that's the string that's passed in, we return it to an array of characters so we can loop through it. So we loop through it, and then we fill out our two arrays, and then we do our while. Our while will be like we pick a Senate from each party, and then whoever has a smaller number bans the other one, and then we just keep going until the queue is empty, right? Alright, let's see. Okay, 58 milliseconds beats 43. Alright, that was pretty straightforward. Let's read some comments or discussions. Let's do newest. What? More examples will be needed to grasp a problem. Explanation not enough. So D, radiant bands, D, radiant bands. Okay, that's confused too big for me. Yeah, it's not really hard. Sometimes the English is pretty hard to understand. So normally I like to go through the examples myself and try and understand what is happening, because sometimes they're using a lot of words to say nothing. But this was a pretty good, I enjoyed this one. Alright, that was LeetCode problem 649. Dota2 Senate.